Hi there, welcome back to the Nourish Mamas podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about why eating healthy is not working for you. And if you're over on YouTube, you probably just saw Gimli jump up. He'll be around because he is very needy today, as per usual. So essentially, we're talking about why eating healthy doesn't work when you feel like you're doing everything. Um, Eating healthy, being mindful, trying harder, but really you're still feeling like you have low energy, you're feeling like your weight is not moving, and you're feeling stuck. So the really common thing that I hear is, what am I missing? Why is this not working? So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to give you a few examples of why eating healthy just really isn't that great of a strategy when that's like the whole thing you're trying to do. So, what is usually happening is you may be eating healthy foods, but if you're skipping meals, I'm looking at breakfast, if you're having random healthy foods, but not getting enough of certain things, so maybe you're very good at eating high protein, but you're skipping fruits and veggies, or you're eating a lot of fruits and veggies, but not getting in enough healthy fats. Like there's a lot of things that can happen where you may be making choices that you feel like should be very supportive of your goals, but don't necessarily move the needle. Kitty, you need to get down. Sorry, he's just bugging the crap out of me today. Um, Alrighty, so moving back to the things that you may be doing. So you may be eating healthy choices, but they're random. You may be having a ton of caffeine. Very common. You may feel out of control at night with your cravings, with sweets, all of the things. This is not a discipline problem. If you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, we've talked a lot about energy. We've talked a lot about like with skipping meals, why this is a huge deal. And I really want to give you another scenario today because we've talked about skipping breakfast. We've talked about adding that in, really helping out your hormones by doing that. But one of my clients came to me and she and I talked through what she's eating. All in all, it looked like she was doing everything right and she was choosing very healthy foods. She had protein, she had fiber choices, her calories looked all right, but she still felt stuck. She was having energy crashes at 3 p.m. And she has two kids, so she does not have time for this. Like, she needed the energy now. And this is a mom who is postpartum. She's nursing. She's going back to work soon, and her husband just went back to work. So we wanted to really pinpoint what was causing her issues. And so what we found is her breakfast was solid. She was having a really good breakfast option. Dinner was good too. It was very much that protein, starch, veg combo. And everything looked like it was going really well. And we did pinpoint dinner was missing a little bit where the carb portions were a little on the high side, veggies were a little low, but that wasn't the main problem. The main problem was her lunch. So, as I said, this is a mom of two. She had a whole bunch of chaos going on around her. And I know that stay-at-home moms or moms on maternity leave may relate to this, but essentially her day was dictated by waking up when the babies woke up. So when her little girl would wake up or when her son would wake up, it just depended on who woke up first, what their needs were. Because if the infant woke up, then obviously it's change diaper, nurse, try and get them back to sleep. If it's early in the morning, waking up at 5 in the morning and then again at 8, like it was that kind of when does the day actually start chaos. But then breakfast was still solid. She was doing a protein shake a lot of the time. She was doing overnight oats. Like these are pretty standard choices for breakfast when you work with me. And we really had pinpointed that, but the lunches were very much kid snacks, lots of toddler foods. Maybe she would eat a bite of her son's, can't remember what it's called, chicken nuggets. And that was like the protein for lunch, was just a couple bites of his leftovers. And if you've eaten after a kid, you know that's questionable at best. My son makes what we call baby soup, and it is horrifying. It is whatever is on his plate, and if you leave him long enough, he will dump his drink into it. Disgusting. And then he'll sit there and play with it, or like it'll catch in his little silicone bib and he plays with that. So I don't tend to like eating after Elijah. I feel like with him, it's very hit or miss on what you're getting. Just like with my water bottle, if he drinks out of it, I have to go and get a new one, and that's now his water bottle. But she was doing a lot of like her kids' leftovers. Her kids aren't quite so like gross as mine, it seems like. And it depends on the day, right? Like sometimes I can get away with having something off of Elijah's plate if he's not going to get mad at me over it. But a lot of the time, that is pretty questionable. And then if it's not snack foods or it's not like toddler food, then she was standing in her pantry just looking at what was going to be the easiest in that moment, whether it was a handful of granola or like a protein bar, but nothing solid, nothing that was substantial. And so then by the evening time, she would have that solid dinner, but then be craving sweets so much at dinner time. Kitty, get down. Brown, he says. So the timing was all over the place with lunch too. It just depended on when she could get her kids down for a nap. They both napped at different times when we started working together. And this is very, very common. So it wasn't just what she was eating, it was that consistency, the timing, structure, and having something that's sustainable in the chaos of her day. So your body isn't going to necessarily respond to random good choices, it's going to respond better to patterns. So we simplified things, we built out a plan that's very easy, very repeatable, and realistic for her life. And this is something that is one of the most important things, especially now that her husband's back at work. She's doing a lot more of the day-to-day kid everything on her own, and she just needed her meals to work for her. So now, a few months in, her energy has improved. She told me last time we were talking on the um, last time we were chatting that she finally feels in control around food. She no longer is reaching for the ice cream container at night, and her body has started responding. Now, when you lose weight while breastfeeding, it does take more time. A lot of the time, it's not like the breastfeed and weight falls off like we've all been told. So, this was a really big deal for her. She had been struggling with that weight piece quite a bit before we met. So, the biggest thing that's been helpful is making sure that things that she's doing are repeatable and simple. And I wanted to share my brand new app with you guys. It's something I've been building out on the back end with a friend of mine who she specializes in building out communities. So it's something that is super, super neat. I've really enjoyed making it. And I've really realized the more I work with moms, more I realize you don't need more information. You need something that makes it simple to actually do what you want to be doing. Eating your breakfast, eating your lunches, getting in a good dinner, and then not feeling like you're off the rails at night. So the biggest piece is that implementation. You may know like what healthy looks like. You may know like, oh, I should be eating breakfast and lunch. But then if you don't have the systems to implement it, then it becomes very, very challenging. So, one of the main things that I built out for you guys is a meal plan designed for you each week. It uses my recipe vault, which all have very simple recipes as well as tips for meal prep, planning, all of the things to make it very, very easy with like to work for you. It's designed for real life. I give you prep tips. So I list out the meals for breakfast, lunches, dinners. They're simple, they're repeatable. It's something that you can implement and put into place immediately. And then I also list out, if you have an hour, how to get it all prepped to make your life so much easier during the week. It comes with all of my systems. It's such a simple feature, and it also uses what is also brand new. And I've said also like 12 million times already. But my meal planning assistant, brand new, haven't done anything like this before. It uses AI to take what is in the meal plan and makes it very specific to your needs. And you can use it, and it's basically me in your back pocket whenever you need it. So this is something that I designed for you guys. I love it. I use it every day. Like it is making my life simpler. It makes my clients' lives simpler. So I really wanted to make sure it was something that was designed to make implementation easy. And then I really have had such a fun time building out this space because beyond that meal planning option, it's what to eat and prep. It's a membership. You can have access to that so you can just get to the point where you know exactly what to eat and you don't have to overthink it. And then I also have some additional layers added in, which has my postpartum foundation systems where it's all structured. It gives you everything you need to know about what your body's doing postpartum, the hormone part, the like simplification of making it easier to lose weight if you're breastfeeding, what you need to know versus if you aren't. And then it has accountability pieces. There's two levels for this. There's my foundations, which gets you some very great support. And then there's my high touch support if you feel like you need the hand holding. It gives you full access to me whenever you need it, and it's very hands on. So there's no right option, it's just what's right for you. And I have a couple ways for you to learn more about this. You can either watch my 6-minute mini training that breaks down the patterns that are keeping you stuck, and you can throw in an application from that page. So I'll link that in the show notes. You can watch the 6-minute training, apply for coaching, and we can walk through which option seems like the best option for you. And then you can also DM me. So you don't have to do the application right away. If you're just curious about the new app, the systems, anything like that, send me a DM over on Instagram at the.postpartum.dietitian. I'll link that below too. So you can send me a message, see what it's all about, and we can talk about what level of support may be best for you. Other than that, I think that's everything I had for you guys today. I'm so excited for everything new that's coming out. If you've worked with me in the past, I have totally brand new things in here. So if you've worked with me before and you're curious about what that's looking like these days, feel free to reach out. And if you're new to the podcast, again, I'm Mallory. I've been working in the postpartum space for the past couple of years since having my son, but in women's health for the last 8 years. So I have lots of experience. I have lots of wisdom to share, and those new programs are just so, so fun. I'm excited about them. So keep me posted on if you guys have any questions about that. Send me a message if you want to learn more, and I will talk to you next week.